Hey guys, what's up? It's Bella here from Earth. I am joined by a special guest, Iris,
Yes,
and we
hello.
are here to talk about the book called The Alchemist. So I just want to ask like a few questions um, to see your point of view. We also have her special guest, which is what's your dog's name?
It's Yami.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Yami. Come here. Come say hi, everybody. Say hi. Ish. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so when you first got a hold of this book, you were telling me your father gave it to you, which is
hmm
awesome. Like, if people can be put onto this book, like, the earlier the better, I feel. When did you, like, what did you immediately take from it once you read it the first time?
The first time, I definitely took that. Thank you, sir. Um, there are going to be things in life that will push you. That may not seem like that's where you need to be. So, for people who haven't read The Alchemist, there is a good portion of the book where the main character spends his time working for a crystal merchant, and he's like, "This is what I'm doing now." And so, from that, I took, sometimes we have to do things to get us ready to go on to the next venture where we're supposed to be. So he spent his time in this crystal shop to get money to continue on his journey. And I'm thinking, wow, okay. So in my have I been doing that's going to help me get to where I'm supposed to be?
That's beautiful.
So that is the biggest thing I took. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh goodness.
Yeah, same here. Like, I'm at that point in my life where, like, I know what I want to do, I know where I want to go. But
Right.
in between there, I've had to do different type of job opportunities, and I'm just like, sometimes I get like impatient and like frustrated, like, why do I have to, like, why do I have to do this? Like, I've done Uber, for
Right.
example. I've done like Instacart just because I needed to make ends meet, and I'm like, why, like, I don't understand why I need to do this right now. And so
Mm-hmm.
it taught me immediately, like, wow, like, the road to get to where you're going isn't going to be like a straight path. Sometimes I'm going to have to do things I don't want to do. Sometimes um, you're still taking a step forward, even though it looks like you're being completely, like, you're sidestepping completely.
Right.
And so that was my biggest thing. So it's awesome that
Oh
you saw that too.
yes, I love
Yeah.
I
Uh,
love it. I love
yeah, I know. No, I'm just kidding.
it.
um, what how do you feel about the word the alchemist, and like what it truly means to be an alchemist?
Okay, for the end of your question, you started to cut out, but I got the beginning, which is what does the alchemist mean to me? Is that what
Yeah.
you're at?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, what does it mean to be like an alchemist?
okay. So for me, that would be the creating of your own reality consciously, like co-creating. If you are into spirituality, that's how you do it, whether you do it via prayer or whatever. It's, you being able to say, okay, this is what I want, and you can hold it here, and you can hold it here, and you can hold it here. And next thing you know, it's in your reality, and you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I will say that through this book, I read this book and got some things from it, and it actually helped me because I love to ride motorcycles, helped
Yeah.
me to manifest the motorcycle that I wanted to a
Wow.
T. And
Wow. So
hmm
how did you do that? I know this is maybe going a little off course, but hey,
oh
how
no.
did you so what steps did you take? Like, okay, you said like, I want this motorcycle. Then
Right.
how did you, what did that process look like, I guess, for you?
Okay, so for me, I actually, yeah, I've owned two motorcycles and for me, one of the biggest things is visualization, speaking as if and acting as if. So I put up pictures everywhere that I would see them of this motorcycle.
Yeah.
And when I was in my car, although I was driving forward in my car, I used my hands like I'm driving. I'm finna ride forward in my motorcycle. Use my foot like my feet like they're the pedals. Um, when I talked as though I already had it. I always saw it every single day. And through reading this book, I'm like, what else kind of helped with this process? And, you know, learn. It also taught me to understand the language of the universe. And then, for those of you who haven't read, that's another term for the book.
Yes.
And to figure out how this was going to come in my life. So I've had this picture up, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get this motorcycle. I just know that I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
So apply for, I don't know, well, not apply, but I saw a bunch of different bikes. And then, I think my dad saw the effort, and so he's willing to help me out. So, one day I wake up or I go to work and I come home and like the bike is in my garage and I'm like, this is the bike that I wanted. Oh my God. Oh my God. And one of my biggest things is that I wanted it to be paid off. And I never said how. So unfortunately it got totaled. It still runs perfectly fine, but according to the insurance company, it's totaled. Yeah. So I have no payment and the bike that I wanted in the garage at this moment. And
yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's awesome. What a beautiful story.
That is what it means to me to be an alchemist. You take what you want and you bring it from here and here and here to right here.
Yes. Yeah, so many people don't know that. So many people don't. It's like sometimes you just want to like shake like the whole, not even like a person, but just like the whole like world. Like wake up, people. Like yeah. The book talked about the language of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
For somebody who maybe hasn't read the book or maybe isn't big on spirituality, what do you feel like that means, the language of the universe, of the world?
Okay, so I would say that would be take how you feel about certain situations. So if you don't have to be spiritual or religious. If somebody walks up to you and you start talking to them and you're like, there's something not right here. That's the language of the universe. Trust that. Because if that says something's not right and you keep going, something you may not want to happen might happen, or things may not go the way that you plan. But if you meet somebody or you have a situation and you're like, wow, this person makes me feel good. This person or this situation makes me feel good. I want to engage more with it or more with this situation. Follow that. That's the language of the universe telling you, hey, this is your path. This is how you get to where you're going. And even sometimes the bad feelings will do that too. They're like, hey, this isn't right for you. Right. If you keep going, things may not work out in your favor. And let's face it, that's what everybody wants. We want what we want right now.
Right now. No work towards it at all. I just want it landed on my palm. Yeah.
So, really trusting your feelings is the big thing I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, I feel like it's... I love how in the book it said like everything from, I think I remember this, like everything from like the minerals to, I forget the the phrase of it, but basically it was
Right.
saying like everything has like a soul, and everything maybe not so much as has feelings, but
Right.
the feeling that you were just describing, like everybody or everything gets. And
Right.
sometimes you can know things without communicating, and for me I'm like, wow, like that's it's beautiful, because I don't know, the way the institutions are set up, they're not really teaching you all of that. So,
Right. And I teach you how important, and I think that really speaks to how the feelings are
yeah,
and what you feel and how that brings about things into your reality.
yeah,
Because, you know, if you're not feeling so great towards it, you probably won't put as much effort into it or understanding it
right,
or doing it, you
right,
know, instead of, you know, this feels good. I'm going to continue to do this.
yeah. Um,
I got my copy right here, so I'm also looking
yeah.
the phrases.
Yeah,
Uh,
it has. It's so the way that it's written. Like I said, I heard it through Audible, and there were certain times where I just. It's very simple language. It's very simple terminology. It's nothing too like you don't need a dictionary out. But then it would hit you with like these phrases every once in a while. I'm just like, I need to write it down because they're
I'm
good.
looking
Like,
back, the
yeah,
highlights and everything. Yes.
yeah. In your opinion, or I guess what is your opinion about because, and I'm sorry for anybody who may not have read this because I feel like we're gonna kill the book right now, but what like in the book there was the alchemist who is a shepherd boy, Santiago, and he meets like an Englishman
Mm-hmm.
on his way to meet the alchemist,
Right.
but he never gets to meet like he said that he had like his dad's fortune and he depleted most of it looking
Yeah.
through books. Like this person was very studious, always in his books, um, trying to learn what this language is all about, but he's learning through
Right.
books, and so he's
Right.
on a pilgrimage pretty much to find the alchemist, the one
Mm-hmm.
person who they said can turn lead into gold and all this other stuff. um,
Right.
why do you think it was like Santiago who ended up, you know, traveling through the desert with the alchemist versus this Englishman? Like, what is.
Okay. Well, I think I just had a passage that went perfect, and then I lost it. And I think it's because Santiago understood that the language of the world happens through experiencing, not necessarily just reading on the experience of other people. Okay, here we are. So, the passage I have is God created the world so that through its visible objects, men could understand his spiritual teaching and the marvel at his wisdom. So, you can read about a beautiful sunset until you're blue in the face.
Right.
But until you go out and you look and you see that sunset, it's going to be completely different. Because you can read, you're like, oh yeah, I know that the reds and the pinks and the oranges, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
Have you seen it? No, I just read it. But like you haven't stood there and like, this is creation, like this is beautiful, like this is inside me, like
yeah.
what? So it's something to be said. Now, I'm not saying you can't learn things through books.
Right.
But sometimes it just takes a little extra oomph
Right.
to really get it, to really get your point across.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, he's like, let's play. We're gonna play.
That's awesome. To me, I also felt that like there's only so much that you can learn through pen and paper, through books. And that was a big one for me, actually, because, like, for me, I love reading. I love, like, school was me. Like,
Right. I get it.
and there's only so much you can learn. You cannot learn everything through the book. You have to learn
Right.
through experiencing, through growing, through failing, even.
Right.
And for
Yeah.
me, that was kind of like a wake up call. Like, wow, like I need to stop. Because sometimes what stops me from pursuing things or taking action is, okay, am I prepared enough? Like, okay, do I know everything?
Yeah.
And
I totally understand.
yeah, and so for me, it's like, you see, like, it's not always going to be, you know,
Right.
it's not going to be the best thing to just, sometimes you just got to go out, and that's how you learn. You're not going to, I feel like, to take it a step further, I feel like school in general, while it's great, it teaches us many things, I feel like the whole, like, test taking, you get grades and all this other stuff, it can be, I don't know, like, if you're used to that, which I am, because I'm, like, naturally studious, but now it
Right.
can mess with me, right? Because I'm
Right.
like, well, you know, am I ready for this, you know, step? Am I ready for this? Am I, you know, it's messed me up that way. Sorry, I went out like a little rant there, but
No, that's quite all right. I definitely agree with you. I do. I think school's great. I think also school could help to play on the strengths of the children.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're a studious and individual and you sign up, sign those kids up for more classes. If they're, yes, get them that, you know, basic education, but also play on their strengths. You know,
Yeah.
they're good at physical tasks, and give them more physical tasks. If they're good at mental tasks, give them more mental tasks. You know.
Yeah. Amen to that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the customs that we get from it, like, it's carried with me as an adult. So I imagine maybe for others, you know, some people walk out of school and they're like, what was that? Like, I don't, you know, but where I guess the problem, if somebody else has this problem with waiting too long or waiting to feel prepared enough, that whole mentality is going to mess with you. It's not going to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes you will never be 100% ready until you jump in with both feet. You know?
Right.
You're like, I could just, you know, walk down
Right.
into the pool, or I could just jump into the pool.
Right. No.
I don't want to, but I'm just going to jump.
I would be that type to, like, put a toe in first. Like, I'm going to test it out. Like,
right. But sometimes the universe is like, yeah, ain't time for testing.
Right.
You all in or you not.
Right. The universe will find you somebody to push you in. Wow.
Right.
Yeah. There were a few other things that I can't think of. Maybe it'll come up. But because I wanted to talk about how he in the book The Alchemist, so they're getting ready, they're close. So for those that may not have read this, the boy Santiago has had these, what he feels are like prophetic dreams, right, where he feels like he has to go after this treasure that's at the pyramids in Egypt. And so he's on his journey, and he finds himself with the alchemist, and then the alchemist brings him through the desert. And so they're closing in, they're almost there, and they come into what's the word? The tribe that came in, I forget. That's not important, but basically they want to take all his, like, belongings, and the alchemist is like, wait a minute, like, he can turn into the wind or something like
right. I remember the first time I read that, I was like,
Right. Like, how is this about to
okay.
play out? But what did what do you feel had to happen in order for him to do all of that?
I think really he had to go in self and kind of understand personally to him what it meant to quote unquote turn yourself into the wind. What it, how um, he had to really, I think it really got him to go back and look at his journey, look at himself, like, okay, I've done all this up to now and I've been fine.
Right.
And now I've been thrown into this and I didn't choose this. Will I be fine again? And upon, going on through the book, don't want to give out too many spoilers,
Yeah.
and things happen. And let's just say things did happen. And I think for that, he's learned, okay, even if I'm not 100% ready, even if I don't think, even if I'm like, oh, as long as I have some belief going forward, I can get the help that I need to get to where I need to be.
Yes. That's awesome. I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, how did he? Wait a second. What? Like, what's happening?
You're right.
Yeah. But
And I think really I picked up more on that the second time around because, like we said before, this book is so juicy that multiple reads will probably dig into it.
Right. I personally love the encounter that he had with Fatima, I believe her name is.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about basically he fell in love for the first time. Although the first part of the book he was like excited about somebody else. But he, with her, he found, this is my true love for the first time. I want to stay planted in this spot because he was traveler. He went out and traveled.
Right.
Oh, sorry, that might be loud. But I love that she said, like, basically, my love for you is so unconditional that if you need to go out and you need to find and do whatever it is that you need to do, like, you go and I'll be here. I think that's beautiful because
absolutely,
it's very hard to find something like that, right?
Absolutely.
I feel like love is based on like so much control for fear of God knows pain, maybe. I only speak from experience because I've been there, but
same.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. So it teaches you also, like, wow, like that's that unconditional love that I want. I don't know about you all.
Right. And what's even better, I think, is that it was found in the desert. And, when we think of barren, sand, nothing.
Right. Nothing is there.
Right. But he gets there and finds this amazing love that everybody wants.
Right. Literally everybody.
I will admit, first time I read it, I was single and I was so jealous. I was
like, let me experience a taste.
Right.
Yeah. For me, it just changed the way I looked at things. Although, like, my last relationship already taught me, like, so much. I think that showed me, like, wow, like, it's two people coming together and, like, working towards creating something together, but you're not, like, you're letting that person be completely them. Through, even if you don't want what they're gonna do, even if you don't want it, even if it hurts, you just let them rock. You let them do what they need to do.
Right.
And that's hard. That's super hard for somebody to do.
Very much.
Yeah. And then what's funny is after everything he's gone through, what he's gone through, and then he
Mm-hmm.
finds out that his treasure is where he had his prophetic dream. So how do you feel about that? And do you think that that was a message for us to take in?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I'm going to ask you, how many times have you thought, this is going to work, this is what I'm going to do, and you've gone through the entire journey to get to the end and be like, I mean, the journey was cool, but it wasn't it's not fulfilling me the way that I need to be fulfilled.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So I think that you saying that definitely reinforces, I think, that people, it's about the journey, definitely, but also sometimes you have to look a little bit deeper. So, he has this whole journey where he goes on this whole thing, and then, he has the lessons that you're supposed to learn taking these detours. I think sometimes is the biggest lesson for that particular journey.
You mean like being
okay,
like flexible, adaptability?
Mm-hmm.
You mean? Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
I think.
I went to college for sign language, so I do know sign language. And one of the biggest things one of my teachers always used to tell me, or used to tell us, the number one rule of interpreting would be flexible, accept. So, like, if you show up to an interpreting gig and you're supposed to be standing over here, over there, okay, this is what we're doing now, let's go on with it. And I think that part of the book really spoke to that. It's like, that didn't end the way I wanted it to, but on that journey I learned this, and I learned this, and I learned this, and I learned this, and all that knowledge, now I can use that knowledge and go on this journey, which may be the fulfilling that you need, that you were looking for when you started the previous journey.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's awesome. And that's why I love like talking to people and finding out like what's your view on it? What's your interpretation? Because you learn. I'm still learning now. Like all after the book.
Me too.
Yeah. For me, that the fact that he found that his treasure was where he had his dreams. To me, it tells me like, yeah, life is a journey. You're always going to be working towards something. You're always going to be working and trying to accomplish these things. But it's not necessarily about the journey itself, because everything that you have, everything that you need is right where you are. Right where you are, who you are in this second is enough, is all that you need to move forward. And that it spoke to me because I don't know, like I'm just so used to like accomplish, like goal, like check, like always going like towards something. If I'm sitting here stagnant, like there's a problem. Right. And so yeah, and that can be a little bit like, I don't know. It puts, I guess, like more negativity in my field than I wanted to, because I always feel like I need to accomplish certain things in order to be all right. And I guess that was where he's so cute.
I got some crackers behind the screen that he's trying to get at, because I gave him a little piece of one, and now he's on a mission.
Yeah. He's so cute.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, like for me, like I've always felt like that. Like once I accomplish this, or once I do this, then I'll be okay, or then I'll be worthy. And so it taught me like, no, where you are now is fine. You're fine. You're more than enough,
Right.
Yeah. And there was
I totally get that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people actually struggle with that. And I think a lot of, come on now, sir. I think a lot of it has to do with the way that we were kind of taught to deal with things.
Yeah.
We were, I think, as a whole, we are taught if you don't have, if you don't have your ducks in a row, don't even bother getting started.
Right.
And this book is more like, I mean, if you got a few ducks, even if you ain't got no ducks, you'll still be fine.
What if you have no ducks? Like,
just get I think this book really teaches you, if you get started, and if you get started and you learn to understand the signs, the universe will be there to help you forward. It will send you the people, it will send you the situation, it will send you everything you need. As make a decision, say, hey, I'm going to pursue this, even if I don't have all the tools I need.
Right.
Let's do this.
That's very true. For me, also, like, first I wanted to ask you, because I feel like the boy Santiago never. He was in pursuit of his dream, right? He was in pursuit of his what's called his personal legend, his treasure. I don't think that he ever anticipated like needing, because he was alone. Like, people relied on him. Well, not people. Sorry, his sheep relied on him for their necessities. I don't think that he ever really considered needing help of others until going along on this journey.
I never. Yeah. Oh, and
yeah. And I feel like I don't know if you would like agree with that, because that maybe I was like looking into things that I don't know, because I just relate to it. I feel that sometimes you can't get to where you want to get to without the help of others, without being guided, without meeting certain people. And that was hard for me, because like I'm just so used to doing things alone, and like that's what I was taught as a child. Like, you work for you, you work hard for you. Like, it's a dog eat dog world.
Right. Look. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel that do you feel like you got that from the book, that he necessarily wasn't like expecting to need other people? I don't know, was that my own thing?
No, now that I am thinking back on it, going through some of the situations that he'd been through, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because first of all, none of this would have happened if he continued where he was.
Right.
Which was by himself.
Right. With all his sheep. Yeah.
Yes, he was living, but I feel like that was more like an existing thing. And upon getting away and getting with other people, he learned, that's cool, but, this is what life, this support feels like. And, up until then, he just had the sheep.
Right. That's it. Literally. Depending on him for basically food and water, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. And now he's depending on other people. And I think it was another step that he had to take, another lesson he had to learn to get to where he needed to be.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, last question.
Yeah, no problem.
What do you feel is a personal legend, and how can people just start living their own, or seeking, or whatever the case, to start living their personal legend?
Okay, so I think everybody has several personal legends, because that is where your passions lie. So by following your passions, you can follow your personal legend. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make you money.
Yeah.
But upon doing so, you can find a part of yourself that may be more beneficial. It's just 2 seconds. Yeah, that may be beneficial. So if you find out that, you know, I'm a writer and I love writing, well, that's one of your personal legends. Be a writer.
Right.
Follow that. Even if you don't take a class on it, still do it. Go through. If you are an artist, paint something. If you are, a dancer, even if you just dance in the comfort of your own home to yourself, that's still following your personal legends. It's still making you happy. It's still fulfilling your soul. So whatever that means for you as a person, do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good view on it. I totally agree with that. And
what about you? What do you think?
I like what you said. It's your passions lead you towards your personal legend. I feel like we all have something that we're here for, that we're here to find, that we're always, we're always looking for our fulfillment of our personal legend, our mission. And I feel that this story is a story about how to fulfill that. And it starts early in his case, in the boy's case. But basically it's fulfillment of your mission here, of what it is that you were put here to do. And I'm just going to reference the book one last time. I like that in fulfillment of his personal legend, he was set to become a priest, but he was like, nope, it's not what I want to do. Although I studied, I went to school, and maybe I may be laughed at and mocked, but being a shepherd is what I want to do because it's freedom, it's this and that. And so it's having the courage to step having the courage to do what you want to do, and not needing, not caring about the rest, and then just fulfilling what feels right. Yeah.
Right, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Awesome, I can understand that for sure.
Yeah. It was an awesome book all the way around.
I think I'm going to read it again, actually.
Well, it's a short read. I don't know how big the book is, but it was
I've actually got paperback, so it's not thick at all.
I heard it on Audible, and it wasn't too long.
It's less than 160 pages. 168. That's it. It's really fast.
Yeah, it's so fast. Yeah. But anyways, thank you for spending this time doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I had a great time. Yeah. And him, I think he had a great time too.
Yeah. Oh, how cute. All right, I'll forward you the link once. I guess I have to check it to see if I have to edit it. But thank you again for your time, and I'll send you the link once it's ready. All right, bye. Have a good night.
Bye. You too. Thank you.
Thank you.